First of all, thank you and welcome to this video series we're doing for Cosmos Hub. I'm glad you took out time out of your busy schedule at Cosmoverse and super excited to talk all these things with you. I think it'll be great if you can give us like an intro about you, what are you working on, and the project you're building things on.
Excellent. Yeah, my name's Chad Cutshall. I'm the CEO of the Neptune Foundation. The Neptune's Foundation's sole goal is to support the Neptune Finance platform. So for the rest of the talk, as I'm talking, I'm going to talk just about the Neptune Finance platform. And it's a next generation credit network and high yield lending platform. And it really is designed to be capital efficient for lenders, borrowers, and also DeFi builders and suppliers.
How did you get to explore, how did you come across the Cosmos ecosystem?
Yeah, so just a little history on Neptune. We actually were building on the Terra Luna chain. And so we were about 2 weeks away from our token generation event and launch on there when that chain went, as we all know, had a horrific experience. At that time, we just kind of took a step back, took a deep breath, all of our tech was built, and we had to decide where do we want to go. And so we started looking at some different chains in the Cosmos ecosystem, and we ended up landing on Injective. And the reason we chose Injective is they had an institutional focus. The team was very supportive. They gave us a grant, they paid for our audit, and they really wanted to see us succeed and really make us the flagship lending protocol on the Injective chain.
You're at your second Cosmos, I presume?
Yes.
And you were in, I think, in Medellin in 2022. Do you want to tell us how was the experience then, and what are you busy with?
Yes, so I started in the space in 2017 as just an investor, and when you invest in a company, any extra research you can do on that company is beneficial. So I decided I was going to go to my first crypto conference, and it was the Cosmoverse in Medellin, Colombia. And I wanted to meet the teams that I had invested in, and I wanted to see if I was going to come home and either take my money away from them or put more money in them, because seeing somebody face to face is so much, there's so much more interaction. What happened to me personally is it became real for me. Crypto became more than just something on my computer screen or my YouTube or my Twitter space. It became personal. And I decided by the time I left that, I was going to downsize my businesses and go full-time into crypto in some way.
And how's the experience so far at Cosmos 24?
2024 is excellent. Dubai is amazing. It's just a great atmosphere for it. The way that they set it up with the different tracks and the speakers and the panels, really enjoying it. It's kind of like a la carte. Okay, today I want to do this, and today I want to do this, and I want to make sure I meet this person. And the way that it also is just laid out with all the food and the coffee and the drinks and just all the little networking spaces, you can really easily get involved in conversations with people. It's not too loud, so you can actually hear the people. I haven't lost my voice. It's already day 2. Normally I lose my voice at the first day of a conference because you're yelling too loud, but it's really laid out, and the hotel is amazing. It's just, I'm impressed with the hotel.
Since you're building a DeFi project in Cosmos, what are some of the things that the Cosmos Hub, building on Cosmos Hub makes it easier to do so, and what are some of the challenges that are also involved with it?
Yeah, so, and I have been involved in different ecosystems. I can tell you that the people and the different companies, informal Cosmos Hub, they're very personable, they're approachable, they respond to you. Some other ecosystems seem very cliquey, like you can't get into the good, in the inner circle, or you can't even talk to somebody that you really want to talk to. They're always available, they're always responding back, and even if you're a little late responding back, they're prompting you. They're very professional that way. I'm excited about where it's going.
We'll be talking about Hydro, the liquidity bidding governance mechanism that's still in the works, but there's built a lot of momentum. The multiple teams that are associated with it are super excited. I think I wanted to know, first of all, what are your thoughts about it, and how do you think it could be a real game changers in terms of bringing liquidity to projects that really need it, and even make onboarding of users or more projects on Cosmos Hub faster.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I think that the governance for getting ATOM for your project or getting ATOM for liquidity has become very bogged down. and all of a sudden you have to go through a lot of commonwealth. I think it becomes more of a political game instead of what's best for the ecosystem, and then personalities get involved. And Hydro is taking all of that out of play and making it more of a simple, logical, letting the community decide with their wallet. Right? So you can now be able to bid or pay a tribute into these different projects and what they're going to win out of that allocation, and you can see exactly how they're going to spend that allocation. So I'm really proud to say that Neptune is one of the ones that's been chosen in the first set. And we are going to just kind of see how it goes. It's an experiment for us too, because we're going to start off with a small, tribute, and then as the bids grow up, we can add to that tribute. And then we have a token generation event coming soon. And we're talking with the team about maybe saying people that give us tributes might get an airdrop or our token, just depending on how the timing of everything works out. We're excited to see how it works. We're excited to be associated with it and its professionalism for sure.
So since governance is an important part of Cosmos, and the liquidity bidding mechanism behind Hydro is also focused around bringing that liquidity faster and having governance involved in it, do you think this express form of governance should also extend to other forms of transactions or other sort of decisions that can be taken with regards to projects that are building on Cosmos?
Yeah, I think that it's an experiment, right? All of crypto is an experiment. So I don't want to say that it's a great idea. I want to see how it works first. But in concept, if it works the way that it's supposed to work, then yes, this should be taken to other avenues. And so now I'm building a new project. I'm trying to do a raise. I need to get some extra funds for liquidity or some extra funds for my team to make it build. Then I can go into this process. I'm curious to see how I would explain my new project, if you would, to everybody so that they would bid on me. I think it'll work, but I want to make sure that the first part works first and works well.
What's a growth metric that you like to track the progress of Cosmos Hub?
I like to see the activeness and governance. I like to know that people are actually voting on things. It's just not the validators voting on things. I like to see a lot of comments in Commonwealth. Sometimes you just get some actors in there and it seems like the same 3 people are just bashing everything back and forth. It's nice to see 100 people active and talking in there. I like to see influencers talk about it. So I also do follow some good influencers that cover the Cosmos Hub, and I do pay attention to what they say, because as I'm involved in my own project, I'm head down building a lot. I don't have time to always read through all of the discussions or keep up on everything, but they do, and then they can condense it in 5 or 10 or 15 minutes for me, and I can learn about it. I do look at metrics as far as developer activity. I do look at GitHubs, and I do look and see what people are actually committing and submitting.
So we'll jump into the rapid fire segment.
Yes.
ATOM is a token. Should you sell it or compound it?
Compound it.
Why do you think cosmonauts should hold ATOM?
I believe they should hold ATOM for the sake of it being you don't want to forget the person who brought you to the dance. Right?
What do you think is one challenge that's facing Cosmos Hub that needs immediate work?
I think that it just needs to get some fresh blood in it. I think that there's some stagnant to it, and I think that I think Hydro will be one of the things that brings some fresh blood to it, so I'm excited about that.
Amazing. Is there a project that's like a dark horse of Cosmos, something that needs more eyes on it because it's building something really cool?
I do think it needs no, I don't think it's a dark horse, no. I think people can, it's sentiment, right? And sentiment does move price, and sentiment does move people to buy or sell. We can change that. That's up to us. We can't let a couple negative actors or bad players decide our sentiment. The mechanics are good, we need to stick with it.
What's a tool or a dApp or a platform in Cosmos that you really enjoy using?
MintScan. I just have to give a shout out. I really enjoy EcoStake, and I've never met the guys that built it, and I'd like to meet them someday and thank them personally. But their auto compounding mechanism is phenomenal.
If you were to describe Hydro in 3 words, how would it be?
I can go, let me do maybe many 3 words. It is great. It's liquidity dispersal mechanism.
What's your favorite interchain wallet?
Kepler. And I do use Leap, but Kepler's like my OG, and I'm just really used to the way it navigates.
Who do you think should be the CEO of Cosmos?
CryptoCito.
Okay, so we've come to the end of the questions. I just want, if you have like a catchphrase that you want to give for building on Cosmos.
Cosmos is easy people to work with.
Okay.
Easy people to work with.
That's great.